Aaron. You're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. I'm a longtime Ramsey listener and fairly new to your show, but really do love it. So thanks so much for taking my call.
Well, thank you, sir, for spending some of your valuable time over here. I appreciate it. How can I help?
Well, my question, sir, and I'm going to try not to be a vampire like you just described there, but
you can't. You're a nice guy. I can tell.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. The concise version of my question is this the best time to move into my dream job? A little bit of background. I got clear probably about 5 years ago about the direction that I wanted to go in terms of a career. I do really well with public speaking, have an affinity for languages, and so went into studying linguistics and translation and interpretation. Went and got a degree and everything for that. I'm currently working in a different industry. I was working kind of on the insurance sector while I was going to school. And first job I got just right out of college was just a full-time position within that field. Wanting to make a change and get into my career field, dream career field, getting into interpretation. But it's been probably about 2 years since I graduated, so I've gotten clear, I've got qualified, but hit a little bit of a snag along the way.
What is the snag?
So the snag is right around the time that I was graduating from school, I got arrested and convicted of a crime. It's not a felony; it's a misdemeanor. So I can get it off my record here in about a year.
Okay.
But I'm in a position right now with my job where just really looking to make a move out of my job. I'm overwhelmed at work, and
so why aren't you moving on? Is it because you're afraid the misdemeanor is going to show up in the process and it's going to sabotage the path to the dream?
That's it, Ken.
Do we know that for sure? I don't think that you're wrong, but do we know that for sure?
So I've applied for a couple of jobs in the meantime, just really kind of testing the waters. Things like
did it come up?
It did, yeah.
So here's what we know. Bottom line is there's a strong chance that it is going to keep coming up and it is going to disqualify you. People are just going to go, I don't know. Right?
Right.
So 1 year from now, what has to be true for that to come off of your record? Is it just a function of after a series of years it comes off, or do you have to do something? What happens?
So I'll be off probation in a year. Once I finish probation, I'll qualify for an expungement, and I can get it off my record that way.
Okay. So feels like to me that we got to wait. Sucks.
Okay.
But unless I'm missing something, if I'm you, I'm not going to keep putting myself out there for good opportunities only to have them slammed shut in your face because of something that is within a year or a year from now is going to be wiped off and it's never going to show up again. True or false?
True.
So it won't show up. Once it's expunged, it's gone. True?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm not giving myself the best chance. So while you're a bit overwhelmed right now, you either stay put and you just tough it out and figure out a way to, through exercise, hobbies, counseling, whatever, man. I'm not in any way minimizing the stress that you're going through now, but you either figure out a way to get through it and mitigate it, or you go get another day job. But the problem with that is trying to go to another day job, this misdemeanor is going to pop up again.
Sure.
So how bad is it right now? Is it something that you just mentally and emotionally at the end of your rope?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. It's just it's a really overwhelming job as it is, and then we're on top of that pretty severely understaffed, and so it feels like I'm jumping into a pool every day and drowning for 8 hours, and then getting out and doing it again the next day.
How much money do you make?
About $70,000.
Okay. Unless I'm missing something, it's going to be really hard to get another day job replacing that $70,000 because of your misdemeanor, right?
Right.
So to me, unless I'm missing something, your only option is you're going to have to figure out a way that when 8 hours is done, you've got a way of decompressing, whether it's exercise, friends and family, you distract yourself from that, you recharge to the best of your ability, and you come back into the fight the next day. And then over the weekend, you're going to have to make sure that you just really recharge. I don't see any other way. Is that why you called me?
That's why I called.
I just don't see any other way, because I think for you to keep pursuing opportunities, you know what I mean? There's only so many interpreting opportunities, and for you to run through a few more, it's a long shot right now that somebody's going to look at that misdemeanor and go, no big deal. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, let me tell you, if there's one way to beat it, and this is not going through the traditional application process, but if there's one way to beat this, it is the proximity principle. Get around people that are doing what you want to do. Get in places where that's happening and begin to meet people. And when they meet you, the first thing they hear from you is not, I'm looking for a job here. You just say, hey, I eventually want to get into this work, and so I wanted to get around professionals that are winning this area and learn about it. And they get to know you and they like you. And then, or that's one way. And then they may open up a door because they go, he's a really good dude. And he did this one stupid thing, and it's going to be off of his record in a year. He's already moving into that process of expungement. So that's one way. The other way, same strategy, is relationships and friends through the proximity principle where, before applying, let's say somebody, friend or family or acquaintance, well enough to where they would go to somebody and go, hey, I got somebody that I think is great over here, world-class guy, I would love for you to meet him. Not an official interview, but just meet him. And they get to know you and they like you, but then you're still running the risk of kind of going, here's the one thing, this is going to show up, but it's going to be gone in a year. And I, would invite you to get to know me better. I mean, that's the only way to get around it. And otherwise, most people are going to see that spot and they're going to go, I'm not interested in that, which is what you've experienced so far. Make sense?
Sure, yeah.
So I think you know what's before you. If it were me, I would figure out a way to get through the next 12 months, and I know you can, and I would have the dream on my mind, and I'm willing to put up with this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and this is part of it. And learn from this, which I know you have, put it behind you, and expungement happens, and then boom, we're walking with our head high, and we're walking forward.